There is so much on YouTube today about MSC. And we watch a lot of videos, and that's why we actually started Cruise Port Captain, because we wanted to share things that we hadn't seen on other sites or other videos. But really, there seems to be so much noise about MSC and being new to the American market. We thought we'd make a part two to our review of MSC to maybe calm down everybody. It just seems to be getting out of control. So just like before, and after I had done the first video, me and my first mate, we thought of more things that we hope give you information so you decide if MSC is for you, and things to be careful about when you're there. So this is Cruise Port Captain. Like I said, my name is Captain Stacy, self-appointed. With my first mate, we've been traveling the world on cruises for 20 years. We started when we first got married, and we just keep going because we have so much fun. And we want to help you with our experience, what we learned, and things we could have done differently, so you have a easy and wonderful time when you're on cruises. And today we're going to talk part two about MSC. All right, MSC part two. So I'm going to start off with the challenges first, because I want to end on the positives, because that's just kind of the person I am. So some more things that we kind of thought about more. So if they do require you to reserve your seat for entertainment. So if you want to, you can do that online. But it doesn't actually reserve your seat. And something I thought about is that if you have any kind of mobility issues and you're going to the theater, you need to go early. They do have, it seemed, parking for people who actually had scooters, but I saw some people who were just had canes, and they were having a lot of challenges. So you want to go early. There is priority seating for the upper levels of their loyalty program, but that eats up at your time, right? Something's different about their theater, at least the two ships that we went on, both out of Port Canaveral, is that the theaters are really jam-packed, almost like a typical movie theater was before the beautiful recliners. And now the beautiful recliners, whole different story. But back in the day, when you could reserve your seat, that's kind of how the seating is. It's tiered and it's packed. So like when somebody wants to get into the middle of an aisle, everybody has to get up and they have to move. It's no big deal. Everybody is great. But if you have mobility issues, that can just be extra challenging to you. So we wanted to bring that to your attention. If that means something to you, or you want to get a good spot when you sit down. Another thing that we thought was goofy, we were on the MSC Seashore, is the elevators are nuts. So it's a big ship. I think it was 5,000 passengers. They had digital elevators, which means that when you got to the elevator, you press what floor you wanted to go to, and then it told you what car was going to come. So like you want to go to 16, you press 16, and then it would tell you elevator A. Great, right? I thought, oh, well, that's super cool. The problem is that sometimes the elevators could take 3 minutes to get to you. And we have never had that on a ship where it took so long for an elevator to get to us. And that's even when it wasn't busy. So imagine like when it's prime time and people are going to dinner and going to the shows, it can be quite busy. So that was kind of annoying overall. Like at first we thought the technology was super cool because it was going to tell us what car. And then we got a little annoyed because it would take so long, and we ended up taking the stairs anyway, if it wasn't too far. Not a lot of variety. This is another thing, and this is food, and food is a big part of cruising. There wasn't a lot of variety of desserts on the dessert selections at the buffet, so it was mostly cakes. Usually, there seems to be a little bit more variety with different kinds of pastries. This was really like different flavored cakes. Is it the end of the world? No, but something you should want to be aware of. Also, if you plan on spending a lot of time in your cabin, because sometimes you do, sea days and whatnot, there's really, at least at this point, there was no entertainment in the cabin. So you could purchase movies for view, like pay-per-view, but they were really old movies from several years ago, and they were $10 a movie, which was ridiculous because even kind of the worst at this was kind of, it was Royal. I don't know if they've changed it, but on some of the older Royal ships that we've been on, where they would cycle through older movies, but it's hit or miss, and some of them were pretty good, but they were all free. This was old and it cost money. That was awful. That was awful. They definitely need to improve that. Yeah, that was the big one for the husband, because we had several sea days too. It would have been great just to have kind of a relaxing day in the cabin and watch a movie. Now, it did seem like you might be able to connect your device to the television if you were downloading something. We don't do that. It just looked like when we were trying to pick up some different signals that our television came up as well. So that might be something. And just from the, that's kind of in general, those were, between the two videos, you've gotten all of our dislikes and what we think you should watch out for. So I hope that part helps. Now get to the likes. All right, let's wrap up MSC with our positives and why we will continue to try them in cruise, because we did enjoy our time. And that's not really what this channel is about. We want to get support information, but we just wanted to give you really our final picture of MSC. So what I did like is that they do have a formal night. So many cruise lines have gotten away from the idea of a formal night where they, encourage everybody to dress up. So that's fun that they really, that all the staff is formal, all the people are formal, guests are formal to varying degrees. It's still a you do you kind of experience, but it is nice if you make the effort to dress up, that most other people have too. I'll include a picture of me at the end, and I'll show pictures throughout. They really had a nice adult-only pool area at the aft or at the back of the ship, so it was very calm and quiet. I'll put some of those pictures on as well. Sometimes you go on a line and they say it's an adult-only area and then nobody really enforces it. It seems like here they really did. It really was adults, and it was very serene, almost a spa-like experience, which was very nice. They had something interesting on the last ship we were on, the seashore. She sells seashores by the seashore. I messed it all up. They had hot tubs that looked like they had zero entry on the side of the ship. So they were rectangular. You could sit in them and really just watch the sunrise, sunset. That was very calming. And of course, we try to go in the off hours, like closer to when dinner started. So it's not as hot for one thing, and it's also not as crowded, much more peaceful that way. We enjoyed that quite a bit. And I even have some more things. Many places to grab a drink and talk. The bars were really well designed in a nice location. There was the Brooklyn Cafe. There was a big sports bar. There was big bars in the central atrium. So you really could just get a nice drink and cocktail and sit and talk with your family. In the Brooklyn Cafe, they had games, so you could get those too. We found that be hit or miss too. Oh, so mad. Last time we went on an NCL cruise, day one, they opened up the games. People took them. Don't take the games. That's just rude. Just rude. Really some nice areas in the back of the ship. Besides that adult area, which I believe was on deck 8, on deck 16, they had a lovely bar at the back of the ship too, and they had this interesting thing called the Bridge of Sighs, where you could walk out on a glass area and look all the way down to the bottom of the ship. Not good for people who are scared of heights. The husband is, I am not, so it's a lot of fun, but really just pretty design. And that Bridge of Sighs, they had them on a couple of parts of the ship, which is really nice. Bathroom was spacious, full size. We liked that. Especially had real doors and not a curtain, so that made using the restroom much more enjoyable than it has been on other ships. And I don't mean restroom. I mean taking a shower was much easier and more pleasant than, sometimes the gymnastics I have to do to shave my legs. Probably a little too much information there. And also we liked in our particular room, we don't know if it was just because we had a balcony or not, but it had a full couch in addition to a really generous, probably a king size bed, but bigger queen, almost a king size bed, which was nice because the husband is 6'2", so he could really lay out on that couch. Usually the other lines, you know, they put like a baby couch in it, and it doesn't give you a real space to lay down or to, you know, really put your stuff there. It's really just almost, it ends up being like an ottoman of some sort. So we enjoyed that. So really that was the purpose of this second video, is to give you more information. We realized the first time we really talked about the food a lot, and we wanted to talk about the ship experience itself. Now, yes, this is two ships, and they were both from Port Canaveral, very similar itineraries, but overall we enjoyed both of them, and I think you should give it a try. It seems people really have a love-hate relationship with MSC. We enjoyed it. We will keep doing it. And we'll probably start taking them around the world. Now, the husband is from Europe, and he was very familiar with MSC, but even in Europe so far, we hadn't cruised them. Now I think they're definitely in rotation if we find a great deal, because we're all about the deals. We are not truly cruise line specific because we like all of them. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So we encourage you to give MSC a try. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I'm getting better about that. And otherwise, bon voyage, and I'll see you next time. Bye.